Welcome to C.S. Lewis Inspired. What if I told you that some of the objects sitting in your home right now, things you see and touch every single day, might be giving demonic forces a foothold in your life? I know. That sounds extreme, maybe even absurd. But listen closely, because I've seen it happen. I remember a time when my own home felt different, not in a way that could be explained by logic, but in a way that I could feel deep in my spirit. A strange heaviness lingered, like an invisible pressure that wouldn't lift. I prayed, I worshipped, I read scripture, but something was off. Then I discovered a hidden truth, one that changed everything. The enemy was using certain objects in my house as spiritual access points to disrupt my peace. And today I'm going to share that truth with you. Hey, I'm Eli from C.S. Lewis Inspired, and in this video we're uncovering a terrifying revelation from C.S. Lewis that will change how you see your home forever. There are 5 specific objects that could be inviting spiritual oppression into your life. 5 things you might never have thought twice about. But don't worry, I'm not just going to expose the problem. I'll also reveal C.S. Lewis's hidden truth, the secret to breaking free and reclaiming your peace. Before we dive in, take a second and hit that like button to stand against the enemy. And if you're ready to fight back, type, "Lord, I'm ready to take back my home," in the comments below. Let's get started. Sarah's story. When darkness enters uninvited. To understand how serious this is, let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a 35-year-old single mother who loved God with all her heart. She lived in a cozy apartment with her son Caleb. She had faith, she prayed daily, and she trusted in God's protection. But something felt wrong. For months, a heavy, almost suffocating atmosphere filled her home. Caleb started waking up in the middle of the night, crying about nightmares. Their peaceful home became tense. Small arguments flared up over nothing. One night, as Sarah was cleaning, she picked up an old dream catcher hanging above her couch. It was a gift from a friend, just a trendy decoration, or so she thought. But as soon as she touched it, she felt an icy chill run down her spine. A whisper stirred in her heart. "This doesn't belong here." Sarah froze. Could an object really invite darkness into her home? Was it possible that something so small had given the enemy access to her life? The answer, as we're about to discover, is yes. And Sarah wasn't alone. C.S. Lewis's warning, the devil's favorite tactic. The Bible warns us in 1 Peter 5:8, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." The enemy is always looking for an open door, a way to slip into our lives unnoticed, and sometimes that door is already inside our homes. C.S. Lewis understood this better than most. In the Screwtape Letters, he wrote from a demon's perspective, revealing their tactics. Keep the human distracted with material things, and they'll never notice the spiritual chains we're placing on them. The objects in our homes matter more than we realize, because some of them might be weapons in the enemy's hands. Today, we're exposing 5 objects that can give demonic forces a foothold in your life. And the first one might shock you. 1. Occult and pagan objects, the hidden invitations. Sarah stared at the dream catcher in her hands, heart pounding. She had never thought much about it. Just a decoration, right? But then she opened her Bible. Her eyes landed on Deuteronomy 18:10-12. "There shall not be found among you anyone who practices witchcraft. For all who do these things are an abomination to the Lord." Dream catchers, evil eye charms, zodiac symbols, and even certain crystals marketed for spiritual protection. These things may seem harmless, but in the spiritual realm, they serve as invitations for demonic influence. C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, "Let them think these objects are neutral, and they will never suspect the doors they are opening. Sarah realized that by keeping that dream catcher in her home, she had unknowingly allowed the enemy in. That night, she took it down, prayed over her house, and threw it away. And something shifted, but the battle wasn't over yet. 2. Items that glorify death and violence, the enemy's agenda. As Sarah continued examining her home, her eyes landed on a skull-shaped candle holder. She had always thought it was quirky, a unique decoration from a co-worker, but something about it felt wrong. John 10:10 tells us, "The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." Anything that glorifies death, destruction, or violence aligns with the enemy's agenda, not God's. This includes decorations with skulls, horror movie posters, violent video games, or artwork. When Sarah removed that skull decoration, she prayed, "Lord, I only want things in my home that honor you." And the heaviness lifted just a little more, but there were still more doors to close. 3. Idols and religious symbols from other beliefs, confusion in the spiritual realm. Later that night, as Sarah walked into her kitchen, she heard a loud crash. A small statue, a souvenir from a trip years ago, had mysteriously fallen off the counter and shattered on the floor. Sarah's stomach tightened. She picked up the broken pieces and suddenly remembered Exodus 23. "You shall have no other gods before me." This wasn't just a decoration. It was an idol, an object tied to a false religion. Paul warns us in 1 Corinthians 10:20, "The things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to demons and not to God. And I do not want you to have fellowship with demons." Sarah realized that by keeping that statue, she had unknowingly blurred the spiritual lines. She swept up the pieces, threw them away, and prayed, "Lord, cleanse my home." And a deep peace settled over her. But 2 more dangers remained. 4. Occult books, tarot cards, and witchcraft items. What's hiding in your bookshelf? Sarah suddenly remembered an old tarot deck she had as a teenager. It was tucked away in a drawer, never used but never thrown out. Acts 19:19 tells us that early Christians burned their occult books, rejecting their ties to darkness. Sarah threw out the tarot deck, renouncing any connection to the occult, and another layer of oppression lifted. 5. Stolen or dishonest items. A home built on integrity. Finally, Sarah noticed a decorative vase, a gift from a friend who had stolen it. Proverbs 10:2 says, "Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivers from death." She donated the vase, committing to honor God with every part of her home. And that night, for the first time in months, Caleb slept peacefully. Their home was finally free. Take action today. Walk through your home. Remove these 5 things. Pray over your space. Then type, "I cleared my home" in the comments. And let's celebrate this victory together. This is Eli from C.S. Lewis Inspired. Your home was meant for God's peace, not the enemy's battlefield. Keep fighting the good fight, because you're not alone. And God has already won the victory.